How's it going, Bradley?
Yo.
See, aren't you glad I gave you the front?
Yeah.
Sucker. I did the back so easy. Front sucks. I mean, not horrible, but you know, definitely not as fun. We'll see how Nick is. He's been working on this Ecoboost. He already had to drill out and tap the exhaust manifold for the turbo bolt that broke. So let's see on. He's got the music going, which tells me he's in the mood. So I did.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, just trying to get this gold line on the back and this turbo stuff.
Oh, these pipes, quick fittings, and then there's a pipe that goes into it. He's doing those. If you know, you know, right, Nick?
Oh yeah.
I'll show you over here. Here they are, Ashley. So belts with it, all Ford stuff. That's on the way. All right, I'm going to show you something I see all the time. People using the wrong fluid types, you know. I mean, it might be the correct fluid to work in here. I don't know, honestly, but the only thing it bothers me is it may not be also at the same time. So I'm not the one to put the coolant in here, so I can't tell you what specs it have, because there is other coolant that meet manufacturer specs and they'll be fine. But I can tell you, we don't know. That's the unknown. Sometimes gets you in trouble. Is this is a Kia in a Hyundai product. If you work on these, you know it should be a green. It's an Asian green coolant. This is like a yellow coolant. Most companies that supply aftermarket coolant, they know it should be green. So this is probably a universal 50/50, just thrown together as universal. That's the thing that gets you in trouble usually. When it comes to coolant, and there's a reason why manufacturers have their own coolant, it's because the minerals and the metals and stuff they have in the block and the cooling system and the radiator, all that stuff, it's different on their system because what they have access to is different than what we have, what metals and stuff they have access to. So they may use more of such component and it's not compatible with certain coolants, or you need certain add packs to keep that metal from counteracting each other, corrosion. So you got to be careful. You can't really just throw coolant in the system. You really try to go back to what the manufacturer says. You can buy a company that supplies it, just make sure it meets their qualifications, their specs, and usually the same color will do that. So when I see a color that's not the same as OE, it kind of makes me a little bit worried. It does not take long for a system to get ruined with the incorrect coolant. Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it in Audis. I've seen it in they're really bad. Volkswagen Audi, man, you have the wrong coolant in that system, I'm telling you, you got trouble really fast. 30,000 miles, typically, they'll start glodulating. It's weird. They start clogging up, radiators clogging up, heater cores. You can see the rust inside the block. I mean, we had one come in a couple weeks ago, and he had some universal coolant there, and we drained it. We did the water pump. There was rust all in the hoses and stuff. It was just rusted out from whatever metal was in there in that system, but it came from something. You know, I don't know where it came from, but something. So keep that in mind. If you're in a pinch, you have no choice, put anything in there. I get it, but flush it out. Go back with the OE coolant. My rant for the day, but who knows? I mean, that's usually good shops, great shops, I'd say, should use the correct stuff. You expect them to, hopefully they do. If they actually do, it's on them. So, but OE coolant, big deal here.
T.
You good, Micah? I'm gonna get a deep 18. It's not gonna work. Wait, Bradley, what year is this thing? Oh. Looks pretty. 21? Shocks already on it. These are actually aren't blown. The front's blown. I'll show you. You come over here, I'll show you. 47,000 miles. Front shocks are blown out on it. So pretty common actually on these models. you know, Ford's keeping you in business. We're going to upgrade them to the Bilstein. There they are. So we're going to do all the 4 corners for them. This vehicle has shocks on it all the way around. So these are a lot heavier duty, a lot better quality than what was factory. These aren't blown back here. We're just upgrading to match. I don't know what brand these are. Doesn't say. It says made in USA, so no telling. One thing you'll see around here is there's a bunch of trucks, a lot of Fords. This is truck country. You're in truck country. So we get a lot of trucks. I mean, the problem is people want their stuff worked on. They want it worked on right. So we do a lot of European. So we like doing the most, but we do everything. So we'll do the F150s also, and F250s, F350, F450, doesn't matter. We'll do them all. Get in there, baby. I'm gonna have to bend that frame out. That frame's catching a mounting bracket. There. So back to this over here. So I'm taking a look at this. Get Bradley's little baby light. We always make fun of him because this little baby light he's got. There's this little baby light. We always give him. Look at this. Doesn't even do anything. He refuses. He's cheap to buy a real light, a man's light. Nick, you have a man's light? I got 2 man lights. Yeah, I got 2 of them too. But for some reason, your boy over here, your little baby light. He loves a little baby light. What's horrible, I lose my light. I'd say I lose my light, what, 50 times a day? At least. I lose it 50 times. I have 2 of them. I'll lose both of them, okay? So I'm constantly stealing Nick's light, which is the same color as mine, but he puts a marker around it, didn't you? He's marked his with marker because I steal it. He's like, hey, you got my light? I'm like, how'd I get it in my pocket, Nick? You put it in there? I'm always taking the light. But his little baby light, that's probably why he has it. I never really hold on to it too long because I lose my mind using this. I'm gonna put it back in your pocket. So we give him a hard time. It's a good light, but it ain't like this. So if you can, I don't know if it shows up this stain here. This rear diff, there's a seal where the pinion goes through, and it's responsible keeping out any vapors from escaping, fluids from escaping. Or what's happening is it's starting to leak very slowly. It will seep out more of the vapors, and the fluid kind of goes with the vapor, and it dries, and it turns to like a colored, black colored, and it's like, it's not really liquid. It's not wet, but it looks wet because it's a darker color. Like you put water in something, it turns a different color. Same thing here. It's not really wet, but it's the vapors of the oil attaching and touching this iron piece there and changing it. So it's basically oil vapor, what it is. And that oil, like oil on concrete, it stains it. Same thing happens here. That's when the seal is first starting to go out. You'll see this evidence of this saturation here, which is not liquid at first. Eventually it goes to liquid. If you ignore this, you'll start having fluid coming out and slinging everywhere. It'll be slinging all over the place. This is your initial signs. This is where you tell the customer, hey, you have a seepage present. Stuff on the rear end, you don't joke around. You get in front of it right away because this can turn to a leakage overnight. And if you get low in fluid, and your fluid's not right here and it gets down to here, you're probably going to burn up this pinion bearing, and it's very expensive compared to what a seal replacement costs. So there's no joke. When you have this, just recommend the seal, do it right. Use a Ford seal. On this case, that's, you know, or the manufacturer, whatever you're working on. So torque everything, specifications, follow the book, all that kind of stuff. A lot of guys do not measure their preload before they do it. They don't check preload clearance. All that kind of stuff needs to be measured. You just don't zip it off. You don't just mark it and zip it off and count your thread and put it back on. No. A lot more to that, okay? So, and after you do that, you kind of want to power wash or degrease it so that this stain goes away. So if it doesn't leave in a month, come back and it looks identical, you don't know, hey, that this new seal leaking. So clean up your work. But we'll torque these fasteners to spec. I'll have Bradley do that. I have something going on this truck over here. Our beloved machine broke. R1 Ep.2 the switch melted, literally melted. Probably have a wiring problem we'll have to solve, but I ordered a switch. But don't worry, I have a backup. Oh. Oh, I'm in an alarm state. This is a little bit different. You probably, I don't know if most people have seen this, but this is what usually HVAC guys use. Everybody knows that this is a vacuum, but this is, we're down to microns right here. This is 395 microns. We're way past inches of vacuum, okay? You have inches of vacuum, you have 1,000 microns, it goes down. This system is sealed tight. It's been going on, it says 15 minutes, but it's been longer than that. This system has evacuated all the moisture, everything's been evacuated in the system. It is tight, very, very tight. I'm gonna close everything off, obviously, because I'm fixing to put refrigerant in here. So I'm gonna close off my vacuum gauges. Of course, it's gonna go down to almost nothing. So, of course. I'm gonna do old school style. I'm gonna wait and all that stuff. I mean, this does a better job than that Snap-on machine will ever do. I mean, all right, so here's the funny thing. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna show you. For y'all, 134A refrigerant. So I used to manufacturer calls it Freon. I call it refrigerant, but you'll slip up and then something like, hey, it's Freon or it's refrigerant. Like, who cares? We all know what you're saying. You know, it's a correction police that they're after you. So, all right, so we're going to turn on our scale here. We're going to seek it. We do what's it called, a tear, which is going to be basically we're going to do a zero out. But let me hook up. All right. Turn this bad boy on. Yeah. Always, the liquid goes to the bottom, gas floats up. So, all right, I'm gonna zero this out once it kind of calms down. All right, so go to my units. You want ounces because it's 600 kilograms. Let me do some configuration here. 600 kilograms, 1.32 pounds, guys. So we're gonna do pounds and 2 ounces here. We need 22 ounces. That's where the math ended up being. So, all right, so now I'm gonna so this system's under a vacuum. So once I open up this line, the ball valve in here, it's gonna just start sucking in refrigerant. So I gotta watch this scale really closely because I don't want it to just free flow in there forever. Now we're gonna bring in refrigerant into the system. It's under a vacuum. Zero out my scale. I need 22 ounces, which must be moving. So what I'm gonna do is open up the valve, allow refrigerant to come across, okay? As I open this up, it's gonna draw in that refrigerant. You want that to go negative. Look about negative 22. So I'm controlling these knobs, obviously, for how much flow is going through there. So, cool. All right, hey, will you turn this on AC for me full blast? We're good. All right. So we can come look at our pressures if you want. I'll show you. High side's 193, low side's 35. So guarantee you it's cold in there, real cold. Of course, today it's pretty mild. So, Pretty cold. The pipes. Oh yeah. This thing's a pain in the butt. Get off. There it goes. All right. That was done. How'd this go?
There.
You torque everything? Everything else get torqued? The back get torqued? Yeah, the shocks back get torqued.
That's that book. Sure.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's it. You're done? Okay, cool. Do one, huh? You work here, you torque your bolts. Is that right, Bradley?
Right. Mark.
You mark your bolts, you torque them. What's the qualifications that work there we gotta have? You gotta have a torque wrench. If you don't have a torque wrench, sorry, buddy. You make fun, it's all you want. We torque our bolts here. And we torque them right. Because if you're gonna do it, you do it right. Takes us longer, I don't care.
It's done right.
It's done right, that's all that matters. Yeah, go ahead, Brad, just pop them off, let's get it done. Otherwise, it's just not, yeah, it's just not gonna get done.
Okay. Okay.
Box is a mess, don't come over here. Stay away. You can come over here, it's just a mess. My guys use my tools and they throw them up here when they're done, so they're... See, just like that, that's what they do. I'm stuck putting everything back. Refining my stuff half the time. If I get in that bad mood, they already know why. My stuff's missing. Isn't that right, Bradley? I'll go on a rant.
Right.
Rampage. No, ain't that bad. Oh, I just irritating. Let me tell you. And then no one says anything. Oh, I don't know where it's at. I didn't use it. I don't own one, but I didn't use it. That's what makes you upset. All right, yeah, to zip it off, pull the caliper off, and then we'll measure that preload on it. Okay. I have to find out what spec is on it. What's up, dude? What's cracking? What is all this stuff here, bud? What is all this boxes? Is that condenser? Was it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Already installed.
Condenser is? Okay, that compressor should be here tomorrow, I think. This came off a E350. It's a well-known aftermarket AC compressor. Not naming names, but it's not OE. And it's locked up. That clutch is. All I can say is if you're doing AC work, go with the, if you can get the OE stuff, or the manufacturer that makes the OE stuff, do that. If you can get that stuff and you choose not to, you're doing a disservice to that customer, because that is one thing that's going to fail. I guarantee it. Or won't operate right is low quality aftermarket AC parts. Don't work. So yeah, you make more money on it, but you sacrifice your quality of work for margin. All right, boys, I'm gonna get back. She's got to run. So till the next one, see ya.